Hello, listeners, and welcome to Dragon Talk, Howard Community College's award-winning student life podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Record, and today we are celebrating that October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. At HCC, we're making sure our students are ready to be the frontline defenders of tomorrow, because cybersecurity isn't just a niche skill anymore, it's essential in our digital age. Today, we will discuss the vital importance of cybersecurity, the amazing career paths open to our students, and how a substantial National Science Foundation grant is revamping our cybersecurity program. Here to speak on these topics and much more, I'm honored to be joined by HCC's Department Head for Computer Science and Cyber Technology, Joel Offenberg. How are you doing today?
It's been a busy day, it always is.
I know you have a very busy month ahead with it being Cybersecurity Month. So tell us a little bit about cybersecurity and why it's important.
Well, almost every business today needs to be worrying about cybersecurity. We used to just think of cybersecurity as something a few nerds would worry about. But now really everybody, whether you're running a shoe store or a government contractor, you all have to worry about it because the adversaries, the bad guys, are interested in stealing information, credit card information, yes, but also things like information about shopping habits, information about what movies people are watching, because it's something that they can use for advertising purposes. It's something they can use as a way of trying to approach people for social engineering. And everybody puts a lot of material onto social media now, so you learn a lot about people that way.
Yeah, it's pretty far out that we live in an age, and not many people know about it, where data brokers can just take our information and sell it amongst each other. And we're like, hey, I was just talking about that product, and here it is on my phone. It's pretty wild.
Well, it's also things like if I've been shopping on Amazon for something, and then I'm watching some TV shows on Prime, all of a sudden the ads are there. Now, that's because I'm doing business with the same entity. But still, after a while, you start to see that these brokers are trading information and they're learning a lot about you. And they're building up a very good picture of who you are and what you're interested in.
Yeah, it's incredible, but also a little concerning. So tell us a bit about the cybersecurity program here at HCC and why folks should come out and study it.
Well, as I said, everybody needs to know cybersecurity. Our program here, our associate degree program here at HCC, primarily focuses on getting folks ready for the workplace. That doesn't mean that people don't study here and then move on to a four-year college or graduate school. We've certainly had students who have done that. But for many of our students, the goal here is to study here and then look at finding a job. Some of our students will find a job and then also go to school part-time or go to school full-time and work part-time. But cybersecurity, there's a huge need for it in the industry, in the world today. There's several 100,000 jobs just in the United States looking for qualified cybersecurity experts. Now, our program here is mostly focused on industry standards that are widely used. So we're looking at training students in the certifications for the CompTIA, that's CompTIA, CompTIA certifications, the Network Plus, the Security Plus, the Pen Test Plus. These are industry standard certifications, and many of our students pursue those certifications. They're not part of our classes, but students can pursue those on their own. Not every student does that, but even if they're not going to take the certification exam itself, the fact that it's a nationally recognized, industry recognized standard curriculum is a big help for the students when they're trying to apply for jobs or apply for four-year schools.
Yeah, and it's incredible that even with an associate's degree or a certification, you can enter the workforce pretty much right away, even at like a part-time level, like you were saying.
And that's a change from the last 5 years. It was, for a long time, of course, in some industries it's still considered, that cybersecurity is a professional technical job and that they want to see people with a bachelor's degree. But partly because there is this shortage of workers and partly because we don't really need to have everybody know everything about cybersecurity to at least get started, and because it's changing so much, however many degrees you have, you're still going to be taking more classes and learning more stuff. So you might as well be helping people do on-the-job training. So it has certainly changed in the last 5 years, where more and more employers are open to cyber professionals who don't have a 4-year degree.
Yeah, and like you said, it's just changing so rapidly that to stay on top of your certifications, it makes sense for people already in the field to come back to HCC to stay up to date on all the new stuff. Moore's Law, technology doubles every couple years.
Well, and of course, the biggest change that we're all looking at right now is artificial intelligence.
Right.
And in a couple years, something that's going to be really affecting cybersecurity in particular is quantum computing. Both of those change the way we solve problems, and we have computers solve problems. And they're changing the realm right now. There's new cryptography algorithms that are being designed to be quantum resistant. Artificial intelligence, I mean, it's not new. We've been using artificial intelligence as a tool for 30 years or more. My master's degree, I'm not exactly a recent graduate, my master's degree was in artificial intelligence. I wrote a neural network to do image processing, and it was in the 1990s.
Wow.
What's changed is commoditized artificial intelligence that anybody can use with a credit card or by signing up for a free account. That's what's new, and the wide availability of AI.
So on that note, tell us about how you guys prepare students for the workforce.
So a lot of our courses, as I said, they're focused on the CompTIA certifications. They also have a large hands-on component. All of our courses, at least in the cyber tech realm, there's always a hands-on keyboard component. I like that term, hands-on keyboard, where you're not just sitting there listening to someone like me tell you stuff. You're learning it and you're applying it in an environment. You're configuring firewalls, you're troubleshooting networking, you're trying out to use tools like Metasploit, tools like Splunk, tools like Nmap, tools like Wireshark. And for those of you who are cyber professionals, right, I just talked about some of the tools that you use every day. And for those of you who are not cyber professionals, that didn't sound like anything. It sounds like I made a bunch of things up. But those are tools that we use all the time when we're working in the cyber field. And so we want to make sure our students are getting their hands on the keyboard. They're working with Amazon Web Services. They're working with Kali Linux. They're working with tools like Metasploit, because these are the tools that you need to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, that's tangible experience. So if you could, tell us a bit about like the programs and opportunities that are available to students who are interested in the field.
So at HCC, we have several existing opportunities, and there's a couple new ones that we're working on right now. So one of the big opportunities that we have now is something we call the Cyber Ready Clinic. And I'm only partly involved in it. Somebody else actually runs it. But this is where local companies from Howard County, usually nonprofits, but we're expanding it, come to HCC, they sign up for an audit, and then some of our students go and they provide free audits and assessments to those companies, small businesses, nonprofit businesses. Cybersecurity is one of those things that does not scale well to small businesses very well. So this is a way of providing something to the community. Our students get some hands-on experience, and it's a practical thing that in the end, these kinds of assessments are what people need to do for their career. It's a win-win for the students who get some practical experience, and for business partners and local companies who are getting an assessment and review of their cybersecurity. Another opportunity that we have is we partner with several companies for our registered apprenticeship programs. Some of our students come and enroll in the apprenticeship program first and then start taking our classes. Some are taking our classes and then they are recruited into the apprenticeship program. But the goal of this is to give the students experience while they're working here, and then also get a job later on. So the model for these is that the students will complete a program with an employer. The employer will pay for their college tuition. The employer will give them some part-time work while they're studying here, and the employer will give them a position for 2 years afterwards. This is a big deal for all of us because for our students, they're getting something really great. They're getting their tuition is being paid for, and they're getting some part-time work as well while they're still studying. They know there's a job that they can move to afterwards. It works well for us as a school because it also helps us work with employers, and it helps us tune our courses to what the employers are looking for. Another thing that we have going on that's just starting, and it's going to be in the couple of years down the road, we just won a grant from the National Science Foundation to create some new courses for cybersecurity. One of those courses will be on governance and regulations and compliance, and one is going to be on healthcare informatics and healthcare cybersecurity. These are classes, again, where they're going to be a good deal of hands-on. The governance regulatory compliance course is probably going to tie in a bit to the cyber-ready clinics that we had been looking at, and that may be true for the healthcare informatics course as well. We just received the grant, so we're just starting work on it October 1st, 2025, and this is a several-year project, writing new courses, creating new material. This is something that we're starting from. No other school in Maryland, no other community college in Maryland is offering courses like this at the associate level, so it's going to be a big breakthrough for us. It's also really useful for our students because they will be able to have some skills. They will be able to work with a lot of our employers. In the state of Maryland, we all know that the federal government is a big employer. We all know that the state government is a big employer. So there's a lot of positions where the governance and regulations and compliance is a key component of the job. So having that in your back pocket, having that on your resume is something that's going to be very useful. Healthcare informatics, between the University of Maryland and Johns Hopkins, Maryland is a leading provider of healthcare. We have a lot of medical offices, a lot of hospitals. We have a lot of medicine. I mean, Howard Community College is literally next door to a hospital. But there's also a large medical presence, especially because of Johns Hopkins. So there's a lot of need for healthcare informatics. That's both for people who are interested in studying cybersecurity to understand the challenges in healthcare, but also for healthcare students to learn about cybersecurity and how to protect themselves and the organizations that they're working for or hoping to work with someday. So those are brand new programs that we are going to be rolling out over the next 2 years or so. That's our roadmap for right now. And as I said, it's going to be an exciting new time because this is really targeting what we know to be the employers in this area, in this state, and providing students with the experiences that they need to be successful. Sometimes this is going to be students who are studying business or studying healthcare to take one of our classes to help them work better in the business realm or to work better in healthcare as people who are aware of cybersecurity, as well as for people who are studying cybersecurity to be well-rounded and prepared for the workplaces that they are most likely to land in.
Wow. Awesome. I can't think of another word to describe that. That is truly a special opportunity.
Excited. We're very excited to be able to do this and to be able to provide this new opportunity to our students. And we're going to share our results with the rest of the community as well. Right. And I will make a short pitch here that if somebody out there who's listening to this works in healthcare industry or works in business and is interested in helping us, we do also have an advisory board that we're going to be using to help us design these courses and guide the curriculum in a way that's useful for the students and the employers. So if anybody's out there thinking, hey, that's great, how do I help guide this? We're looking for that too.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, great call to action. Are there any other changes as a result of the National Science Foundation grant that people can look forward to?
Well, there are some other changes that are going to have to take place as a result of that change. So we're going to be changing around a couple of other classes, but that's the major change.
Gotcha.
Well, actually, one other change that will be happening is we will be changing our Associate of Arts program to an Associate of Applied Science program.
Cool.
So the meaning of that from a practical perspective is the students will take fewer electives and more technical courses. It does mean that transferring to a four-year school will be a little bit different, but it's more towards getting students ready for the workplace than it is for four-year schools. That doesn't mean you can't transfer to a four-year school. It just means the process is going to be a little different and the expectations will be a little different.
Awesome. So are there any other changes coming?
Well, of course, I mentioned about artificial intelligence, and everybody at Howard Community College is interested in creating coursework and adding assignments in artificial intelligence. Our department is taking a lead on this. We are creating some new courses in artificial intelligence. We are going to be offering starting in the fall of 2026. And we're incorporating artificial intelligence exercises into our current courses, whether that's the cybersecurity courses or any of our other majors, whether that's computer science, whether that's application development, whether that's cyber forensics. The artificial intelligence tools are already out there, but we need to make sure students have hands-on experience with them. It's taking some time for us to get that done. It's not something we can do instantly, but it is something that is on our roadmap for the next year or two.
Incredible. HCC is laying down a strong foundation for cyber technology that the whole state and maybe even the whole country can take note of. So, Joel, thank you so much for coming by today, and happy Cybersecurity Month.
Well, thank you, Ryan. It was great talking to you.
What an insightful conversation. Give it up once again for Professor Joel Offenberg, Head of Computer Science and Cyber Technology here at HCC. We highlighted why cybersecurity skills are non-negotiable in our modern age, the amazing workforce opportunities waiting for HCC graduates, and the exciting future of our cybersecurity program thanks to that game-changing National Science Foundation grant. If you're an HCC student who is interested in a career which protects our digital world, make sure you visit the Computer Science and Cyber Technology Department page on HCC's website to learn more about our revamped program. And don't miss out on securing your future today. Well, that does it for me, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Dragon Talk. Until next time, this is Ryan Record, signing out. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed what you just heard, we have a whole universe of podcasts waiting for you. Simply search Dragon Podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. You can also explore our full lineup and discover new shows at podbean.com/dragonpodcasts. That's podbean.com/dragonpodcasts.